Bill St. James at the Aerosmith concert. Traffic's jammed out there, so if you're stuck in your car on your way to this concert, don't worry, we've got you covered.
Wait a minute. We can't leave these people here like this. How about some Backstage Passes? Yeah, come on. Make it happen.
Welcome to For Your Amusement, a theme park podcast that aims to exhaustively evaluate the world's most popular theme park attractions to determine if they are world class. I'm Ryan Bergara.
I'm Byron Marin.
And for this episode's featured attraction, I have a great idea. How about some Backstage Passes? It's time for Rock and Roller Coaster, baby. And joining us in the Super Stretch limo is none other than Entertainment Weekly journalist and co-host of the Park Peeps Podcast, Joey Nolfi. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hi, guys.
How's it going, Joey?
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I am just so thrilled. I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I do have a question though. Like, does this appearance also come with Backstage Passes to your little studio there?
This is a very little studio. In fact, I'm glad that you mentioned it because we are going to get into that. This is actually Byron and I's first recording in the new set, which is in my garage. And a little back behind the scenes of that in a bit here. But first, we got some housekeeping. As always, please like and subscribe to keep us alive if you're watching the video version over on youtube.com/@FYApod. Or if you're listening to the audio version, subscribe and rate the podcast 5 stars and consider supporting us on our fourth wall, which is a different version of Patreon. You can join our fourth wall and become a park hopper, as we're calling it, by heading to FYApod.com. It'll help us keep this madness going as well. You'll also get up to 3 monthly bonus shows over there in addition to the free one you're watching right now, and that's also where our merch is. But again, let's get back into that rock and roller coaster. We are in the garage. I'm wearing a hat right now to obscure the lump on my forehead. Also, it just feels good to have the hat over it because yesterday we were literally building this set and lighting it. And
by we, he actually means like 98% him. And then I was, for the most part, on the sidelines, probably editing / just getting out of his way because Ryan has a terrific background in lighting stuff. So this is pretty much all his doing in terms of the lighting and all the setup here. So I can't take much credit for that.
I mean, y'all didn't have to construct a new studio just for me. I mean, I'm so flattered.
I said to myself, July 1st, if we are not ready for fucking Joey, I'm going to kill myself.
Flattered. I'm flattered.
I would have died. And I almost did die. And the funniest part is with Byron, like Byron was saying, well, Byron was editing the episodes. It wasn't like you could help me anyway. Because he had to get the Cat in the Hat episode out, which is apparently, by the way, serious business. If you haven't noticed, the Cat in the Hat episode dropped today as of the day of this recording. So when you're listening to this is going to be several weeks in the future. However, the day of us dropping that episode, apparently out of some weird coincidence that we had no idea of, a Cat in the Hat trailer for a film starring Bill Hader dropped this morning.
And you know how I got news of this?
What?
On our Discord.
God, that's so funny. Dude, I hope, and nobody thinks that we are sponsored by that film.
I had no idea this movie was even being made.
Neither did I, and I love Bill Hader.
Let alone a trailer coming out the same day.
Is it as creepy as the prior movie's trailer? Did you watch it?
I'm going to be honest, Joey, like we just got this news and we haven't, I haven't
even got the chance to watch it, but thanks for the help, Bill, helping that algorithm. Anyways, but yeah, yesterday I was, we have a fridge in our garage that we had to move, and in order to get it out of the garage, we had to take the doors off because we're trapped in this. There's a lot of logistics that go. I had to take the door off. I wasn't watching what I was doing. I was working with the socket wrench down below on my belly, and the freezer door, which is the higher door of the two, became unhinged because I didn't screw it in. I thought I had, and it fell directly on my head as I was laying on the floor. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not even sure. There's I want to say less than 0 chance, maybe like 10% chance that I have a concussion right now.
There's going to be a lot of fun in these facts today.
I don't know. I mean, I was feeling a little woozy. I'm good, though.
It's either that or you almost electrocuting yourself.
I did almost
exploding.
I did almost electrocute myself. As Byron said, I have a lot of lighting skills.
I saw the sparks fly out of the outlet. There's like black dust.
You don't think I've been electrocuted before? I've been electrocuted before. I think that's abundantly clear that I have used my brain cells like they regenerate, like they're rollover. They don't. Once they're gone, I think.
And a little context for our viewers and listeners. Joey, we actually met you about a month ago at the VIP media tour at Islands of Adventure / Universal Studios Florida. So it's fitting that we're talking about Rock and Roller Coaster because we got to know you over riding not the same roller coaster, but roller coasters nonetheless.
Much better coasters, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair. That's fair.
It is fitting that you're doing it while concussed, though, because I think Rock and Roller Coaster has also given me many a concussion in the past. So.
Oh, really? I've always found it to be quite smooth. I've never had the Matterhorn experience where my spine was never the same. But we met Joey via a friend of the pod, Quincy, if I'm not mistaken. Quincy all years.
Mm-hmm. Yes, no, Quincy is one of my very good friends. I met her at the, we did a media trip to Hong Kong Disneyland a few years ago. And she was so excited to tell me that she was going to be on this pod. And I checked it out and I was like, how have I not been listening to this? Like, this is the most amazing thing. And I have, for the past few weeks, like truly, I think I dialed my fandom down a little bit at the event when I saw that you guys were in my group, but I was like dying. I was like, oh my gosh, like I literally, you guys were in my ears on the plane ride here. Like,
oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm so excited to do this.
Just like I'm so excited to pop in this chef prepared gourmet meal by Factor into my microwave, which is going to be ready in only a couple minutes. And you know what? Between busy schedules and summer plans, sometimes all I've got is a couple minutes. Factor helps me eat smarter with tasty chef-prepared meals that are dietitian approved and delivered right to my door. And now, with more than 65 weekly meals made for how I live and what I like to eat, I've got even more ways to fit in a real meal wherever the day takes me. Factor also has what feels like an ever-growing selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp, which, by the way, are at no extra cost. They even have new Mediterranean diet options, which are packed with protein and good-for-you fats, something that my doctor has been recommending to me for a while, so this is at the top of my wish list. And also, for the first time, try Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. You could really say that we're eating good here, folks. And seems like everyone that eats Factor agrees, because 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. So feel the difference no matter your routine. Eat smart at factormeals.com/FYA50off and use code FYA50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code FYA50off at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor.
Either way, we're here to talk about Rock and Roller Coaster. Why are we talking about this, Joey? What draws you to Rock and Roller Coaster?
Byron and I were really talking about coasters at the Universal event. So like coasters, I am a thuzy through and through ever since I was a child. So how can you not want to talk about like a very standard setting roller coaster, and a roller coaster that had a lot of firsts for Disney parks for this? And it's just that intersection of great theming in some ways for this coaster, but then also that just like dorky coaster stuff that is just so interesting with these niche little facts about this ride and what it accomplished for the parks.
And what was your first impression of this ride?
Well, I was a child, and I think it was about, oh my gosh, maybe 11 or 12 when I first rode it. And
wait, then I got to ask you the question. This is the question for most people, and usually this is the answer as well. I'm going to guess that this is maybe the first time you went upside down on a roller coaster.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Okay, so a lot of people, this is the gateway.
No, I grew up in Pittsburgh, so I had Kennywood.
Oh, yeah, Kennywood, hell yeah.
And I also had Geauga Lake, which is sadly no longer in operation. But my first looping roller coaster was the double loop at Geauga Lake when I was like 7 or 8. And then my second one was the Steel Phantom.
Did you dig it? You dig the upside down or dig it?
Just in general? Oh, in general?
Were you like thrilled to go upside down, or were you like, does this go upside down? I guess I'll get on. Because for me, I was like, let's go upside down as soon as possible.
Yep. I was right there with you. I was
Joey,
right there with you.
In regards to the Steel Phantom, are you sad that the inversions are now gone and that it's Phantom's Revenge? Or
Oh God!
I hear it's a much better coaster now, but I've never been there myself.
It is light years better. Like I am not a masochist. I do not like to subject myself to like this horrific pain and headbanging. And the Steel Phantom, let me tell you, was even as it like, well, I guess it makes more sense when you're a kid, when you're shorter, because your head is between those old Aero hard restraints. And just the head banging on that is unlike anything I imagine. Well, actually, you guys haven't been to Cedar Point yet, right?
No, but have you been on Viper at Magic Mountain? Same manufacturer. It's the same head banging, I imagine.
Imagine that, but times about, I would say, amp it up about 3 times because the Phantom. Oh yeah, because
it's going to make you into a Phantom. There's no way.
Truly is.
How could you go 3 times more? If I went on that now, it'd finish the job from the refrigerator.
Because you were going at such a high rate of speed down the valley. Like you've seen videos of Steel Phantom, like it goes down a valley 225 feet. And then when you're coming up into the loop, there are, at first, I don't believe there were trim brakes. So you were really like hauling through. It was a loop and then a boomerang situation. And so it was just constant. Like it was just, you literally felt like a pinball machine. It was awful. I mean, people shattered teeth.
I want to get on this because I am compiling over time my list of worst roller coasters I've ever been on. Viper's definitely going to be on there.
Well, now it's a really good roller coaster.
Now it's good. Now it's good.
They basically brought in a different manufacturer, Morgan, to alter the layout and smoothen. So instead of those inversions, now they're airtime hills. There's no inversions on it, but it's much smoother.
And there's no shoulder restraints either. It's lap bars.
Yeah.
We also want to get in that New York
roller
coaster,
that
the Togo Classic.
That one's got a reputation.
But honestly, the worst roller coaster I've ever been on is a ride called Time Warp. And
Canada's Wonderland?
In Canada's Wonderland.
It's so bad.
I fucking hate that ride. It was truly torture. I've never been to Kennywood, but I was doing a tour date in Pittsburgh. Love Pittsburgh, by the way. And we were not. I was so sad. I actually thought I was going to be able to sneak away. And then my stage manager was like, "You gotta have sound check." And like, I know you want to go, but you can't. He's talking to me like I was a child, which I am. But anyways, So your first impression, you were very young. You said 11, 12.
I was 13. We went in 2003, and it was the first time I'd been to Disney World in like 10 years because the last time I had been I was 3 years old. And so yes, it was 2003. I was 13, and I mean, at that age, you're excited. I think I transitioned to the thrill rides earlier than some people because I was such a coaster enthusiast. So this one I don't think I had ever done a launched coaster before, though. That was my first was a launched coaster. So that I was more nervous about because I had gone upside down on rides before. So my little 13-year-old self was kind of anxious about that launch.
So did you, having already been a budding and it sounds like almost seasoned roller coaster vet at the ripe age of 13, did this ride measure up to the thrill of the other parks? Like, were you like, okay, I know I'm going on a Disney roller coaster. It's not going to be nuts, but I'm happy to see them trying a little bit. How did you feel? How did it stack up?
Yeah, no, I think it definitely, as a kid, it feels more, the thrills sort of hit you in the face harder. That launch especially felt way more intense it still feels intense when I ride it as an adult, but as a kid, it definitely felt way more intense. And I do remember being shocked as a kid as like, oh, wow, this isn't a Disney park. But then, I mean, that was immediately sort of diminished when my mom forced me to get on Tower of Terror right after that, because drop rides were the thing that I drew the line at as a kid. And so Rock and Roller Coaster, after I did Tower as a kid, I was like, that's nothing. So yeah, my parents forced me on Tower of Terror right after that.
Incredible. I'm a fan of your parents. Because you got to traumatize your kids. I think it's important. I should make a shirt. Byron, what's your first impression of Rock and Roller? I know you were afraid of this ride.
I was a bit afraid of this ride. I was definitely afraid of Tower of Terror. My parents did not force me to go on Tower of Terror.
Oh, no.
Well, Joey Byron, I don't know if you know this. He was actually afraid of thrill rides, even as the coaster enthusiast.
Yeah,
here.
so I was infatuated by roller coasters, even at the age of 8. which was the time that I went on Rock and Roller Coaster for the first time. It was a spring, I think it was third grade spring break trip. And so like I was infatuated with coasters, but I didn't ride many intense ones. I had never been on an inverting roller coaster before. And although I was able to bypass riding Tower of Terror on that trip, mainly because no one in my family was that keen on getting on it either, I did, as scared as I was, I felt like I needed to do Rock and Roller Coaster just to feed that curiosity, feed that itch and infatuation. But I was very nervous. I was nervous about going upside down. I knew all about the ride already. I knew it went the advertised 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. Like this was the kind of stuff I was reading at 8 years old. I didn't think the launch would be that intense because I'd never experienced what a launch was like on a coaster. So I was really just nervous about the 3 inversions that I was going to go for. Didn't know who the heck Aerosmith was at the time.
You didn't know who Aerosmith was?
Not when I was 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
My classic rock band catalog was next to nothing at the time. I was raised on Jimmy Buffett, and
just on a loop at that kind of explains a lot.
It was a lot of Jimmy Buffett.
Says the guy sitting in a tiki room.
Yeah, it's all come full circle. So when you enter the loading area, I do remember like shit got so real watching these people just quickly disappear into this black abyss screaming. And that was like the first time it registered like, oh, like a launch is like a big like deal. And you don't realize that you feel those forces when you take off on that launch. So I found that to be more thrilling than the inversions themselves. And yeah, I got to say, like, it was that feeling of conquering your fears. It was a gateway coaster. I left with a lot of bounce. I remember I rode it with my dad. There's a picture maybe somewhere that we bought of our first on ride. I would love to dig it up. I don't know. Maybe we could dig it up. But yeah, I think that really got me hooked on getting on more intense coasters going forward. So yeah, it was a big deal for me.
I am aware of Aerosmith. I was aware of Aerosmith. For whatever reason, my dad wasn't a big classic rock guy. He was much more like an Earth, Wind, and Fire, funk and hip hop kind of guy. So I didn't really listen to a lot of rock, but for some reason, he loved Aerosmith. And he would play, in particular, the song, it's not even on the ride. I wish it was. If it was, he would pass away on the ride out of just pure excitement. And I would too, just because I listened to it all the time. But the song Jaded by Aerosmith, are you familiar with it? It goes, Mama, baby, boo. Yeah, that guy.
Wait, did you say boo?
I think, is it boo?
It's blue.
Fuck. There it is. Look, I said, my memories of that song are from my childhood, and I've sang it wrong this entire time.
I'm going to be singing it as Boo, though, for the rest of
I think Baby Boo is so much better.
I do, too.
That's like that Blink 182, what's that song? What's My Age Again? Where it's, I wore cologne to get the feeling right, but it's apparently, or everyone thought it was I walk alone to get the feeling right.
Interesting.
And everyone sang it that way.
To be fair, Mama Baby Boo, just as coherent as Mama Baby Blue, right? I mean, is there meaning behind Mama? We're not here to decode. Well, wait, Jaded.
He's not. I don't think he's saying Mama either. He's saying my baby blue.
No way. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look up the lyrics. You know what? I'm gonna look it up right now. Hold on. Small detour here. Hold on.
Baby Boo.
Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna sing it right now.
Oh, not me correcting the host of the pod. I didn't mean for it to come off like that, but
that's actually a good example. And by the way,
this is going to save us in the comments.
Always
section,
correct.
Joey,
Always correct us because it needs to happen. Let's see. Oh my god,
I am going to be saying Baby Boo though.
It's so much better.
Yes, it is.
It's very endearing.
Wait, they don't even have this on the lyrics. Oh, it's because I'm looking at Miley Cyrus. I see. I actually haven't heard that one. I do love Miley.
It's so good. Miley. Yes.
Oh my god, you're right. My Baby Blue.
Mama Baby Boo.
Yeah, okay, my Baby Blue does make a little bit more sense.
Yes. Oh my god.
That's pretty good.
Sorry, I'm like trying to keep it together, but it is really sending me.
Also, we'll slip into the velvet glove. I like that. That sounds good. It makes me feel like the velvet on my like fingertips, and I get into a really good place as I'm singing "Mama Baby Boo."
No,
I'm gonna perform that song in karaoke and sing my rendition of it because
I think you should.
My first impression of this though was I dig this guy. I've heard a lot of his stuff. Big fan. So young me who didn't really know anything about this was thrilled to see. Not him in the flesh, essentially in the recording room. That was pretty cool. And then, I just did not. I'd heard this ride was intense for whatever reason. I did not know it went upside down, which I was not aware of. So when it happened, it was amazing because I love thrill. And I didn't know I was going to get an incognito thrill. There's nothing better than going on a roller coaster, not knowing the layout, not knowing if it goes upside down, and it's an indoor coaster, so you have no view of it from the queue or the outside to discern. So everything is truly a surprise, and this is like, as J.J. Abrams says, one of those mystery box rides, and boy, did it deliver. I just remember loving this ride, and just the whole vibe of it. Everyone's having a good time. I like that you get out and you're at the concert, you get it looks like a valet for a restaurant or something. It's fun. I like it a lot. But either way, let's get into the history, Byron. How did this come to be? Because Disney and Aerosmith isn't exactly like second nature to people.
May 1st of 1989, Disney MGM Studios opens. This new park, and the first to open under Michael Eisner's leadership at Disney, debuted with a limited number of attractions. And with Universal Studios Florida opening in 1990, Disney and the Imagineers were moving fast to add more attractions to their new park. That being said, construction for a major expansion to the park known as Sunset Boulevard was greenlit shortly after the opening of MGM Studios. And because a common criticism for Disney parks at the time was their lack of thrill attractions, Michael Eisner was keen on providing a 1-2 punch to their new park's upcoming expansion area. This would result in 1994's world-class attraction, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, which we already have an elaborate history segment for, and the development of a high-intensity roller coaster themed to rock and roll. It is important to note that Euro Disney, which had opened near Paris, France in 1992, quickly proved to be a huge financial failure for Eisner and the Walt Disney Company. This resulted in various domestic projects hitting the shelf, while fast-tracking the construction of 2 high-intensity roller coasters for Disneyland Paris, which were 1993's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Peril, which was Disney's first roller coaster to feature an inversion, and 1995's iconic Space Mountain from the Earth to the Moon, Disney's first roller coaster to feature a launch and multiple inversions.
You know what? We should make a video of the top 5 rides to get canceled by Disneyland Paris. Because that's got to be a pile of attractions. It seems like anytime, they was gonna wasn't Westcott a victim of that, and
Westcott was California Adventure.
It was supposed to though, but then because of the failure of
I see what you mean. Because of the financial, all the budget cuts they didn't make domestically.
There were so many projects that got canceled, including I believe there was one that was like a Western theme, was Grizzly Gulch or something like that. Or that one I saw concept art for that, and I was like, dude, just do it now. You can dust off the shelf, dust off the books. Just let's bring out some of these attractions from the pile of discarded items. But I bet you we should look into that because every time I hear about that failure, I just think of what could have been everywhere else.
It's tough because so many of them you could speculate and assume, but it's kind of hard to confirm.
All just because they didn't want to serve wine on Main Street.
That's it. That was the only reason
it did piss off the French a lot.
Oh yeah. And that's why that whole thing is why they didn't pursue Disney's America harder too.
Yes,
because it Euro Disney failed, and they were like, the locals don't want it. We're not going to push for it. So
it is what it is.
Yep. It was a humbling experience. But luckily they got their Space Mountain, which essentially saved their park in a weird way. And the success of Paris's rendition of Space Mountain would help get the struggling park on its feet and perhaps prove that high-intensity roller coasters, when properly themed and executed, can hold a high value to park guests, even at a Disney park. And with the late 90s approaching, the Imagineers would return to their plans for injecting a rock and roll themed roller coaster into the back of Sunset Boulevard. With the track erected at breakneck speeds, Disney went to work at securing a popular rock band to headline the attraction. But this would prove to be a little more difficult than expected. I have a feeling that maybe this is in your fun facts to some degree. If not, this will just be a sidebar for shits. But do you guys want to take a crack at a couple of the bands that they were going to first to headline this?
I only know
ride?
one, and I'm going to save it just in case. But I do know one.
I know 3, so I won't say.
Oh no, go for it.
You oh, you want me to say?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so Rolling Stones,
Yep.
Kiss, and U2.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know about Kiss or U2. I just knew about the Rolling Stones. I knew they said, apparently, this is the rumor. It's reported that they said no to Rolling Stones because the Rolling Stones asked for $10 million.
Per year.
I think, I believe it was per year. I think Keith
Per year? What the?
Yeah.
I believe Keith Richards and Mick Jagger were like, hell yeah, let's do it. And then they're like, 10 million.
Per year. Mm-hmm.
And then Disney's like, oh, wait a minute. Once again, Disneyland Paris, I don't know. Like the tighter budget maybe for this attraction.
Did the mouse walk this way over to Aerosmith?
Yeah. Well, they went to Kiss, I believe, after.
A Kiss themed attraction in a Disney park is undoubtedly the funniest outcome.
That would have been pretty funny.
Also, a Bono ride is also really funny because I feel like Bono would have pushed for an animatronic Bono.
Maybe. Oh yeah.
Just because I really only want that because I want to see an animatronic. It just occurred to me right now. I've never seen an animatronic wear sunglasses. I really want to see it. Chime off in the comments. Is there an animatronic that exists in the world that has sunglasses in its main set? Like not ones that someone put on for fun, but like, is there? There has to be some sort of Terminator attraction where there's an animatronic where he has sunglasses, right?
You have to wear the sunglasses before you get on the ride, like you're putting on 3D glasses.
That would be the perfect integration. You could have the 3D glasses finally make sense because Bono never takes them off because he has no eyeballs.
There you go. The full U2 experience. You roll through these inversions. And
Dude, I love it.
Break run.
Anyway, please somebody let me know if there's an animatronic with sunglasses and send it to me. I need to see it.
Oh my God. Wait, what's her name from Tiana at the end?
Oh,
Mama Odie?
Yes. Doesn't she have like little...
She's got those transition.
glasses.
She's got those transition
lenses.
I mean, like transition lenses, which are in now, by the way. I remember when I was like in school, I had a pair of those and I got mocked relentlessly for them. And I was like, well, you guys are fucking stupid. I have 2 glasses in one.
And so does Mama Odie.
That's right.
Now, Rolling Stones and Kiss didn't work out because of financial reasons, whereas I believe U2 was more just a choice on Bono's part. I don't think he wanted to work with Disney.
No, because he stands on he's kind of, even though he is like a big rock entity, he kind of like stands on anti-corporate, environmental kind of causes. So.
He seems to do that, which is why he signed up for a residency at the Sphere.
I know.
But it doesn't get I don't think that's long for this earth anyway.
Yeah, Disney came to him and he's like, hell no.
Oh, that's pretty good.
All right. Now, although these options failed to work out, there was one particular band that was already contracted by Disney to record a song for Touchstone's upcoming 1998 film Armageddon. Far removed from their rise to glory in the 1970s, this rock band was in the middle of a surprising comeback. And with a 1999 opening date fast approaching, Disney took the risk of securing the band's participation prior to the release of Armageddon. This risk would pay off in spades. Not only was the deal a fraction of what they would have paid the Rolling Stones or Kiss, but the deal was made at the perfect time, because the band chosen to headline this attraction was none other than Aerosmith. And that particular song they recorded for Armageddon was I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, which debuted as #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100. Set to a collection of their hit songs, Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith would open on July 29th, 1999 to the delight of park guests and thrill seekers alike.
Can we just have like a moment of silence for the fact that Don't Want to Miss a Thing, whatever the fuck the name of that song is? I do love that song. I can't believe that's not on this ride.
That'd be a hard tempo though. Right?
I don't care. I mean, Sweet Emotion's also kind of slow too.
It's a cruiser.
But the thing is, like, I'm very curious what the vetting process was for the certain songs. Where there are certain ones where Aerosmith is like, this is off the table. We don't want this one on this ride. Like, Dream On this ride would be crazy.
Yeah, they did say. I believe I read somewhere that they only I think Disney chose the songs, and then Aerosmith kind of signed off on them. And then I believe there was only one mandate, and they were like, we have to have a song on. Or wait, Byron, am I stepping on your?
No. I don't have this written down, but I know where you're going with it.
Yeah, there was, because their 9 Lives album completely flopped, and they were like, we're going to do this, but you have to include a song from 9 Lives. That's what the report is.
I didn't know that. I also love the irony of an album titled 9 Lives flopping. Because it's the insinuation being like, could have used that 10th. But yeah, no, that's, I'm curious why they didn't have some of their greater hits and they have some more B-sides on there.
Although I do think they play some of their mellow hit tracks like in the exit, if I'm not mistaken, like Gift Shop and stuff.
I want to be listening to it when I'm roller coastering. And I want to be listening to it while I'm sifting.
Hell yeah.
Merch.
Anyways, this has rocked on for many years, and while barely any changes have been made to the ride experience over its 26 years of operation, there are plenty of rumors as to which rock artist could possibly take the mantle and headline the coaster into a new era. Disney Park fans would officially get their answer in November of 2024 with the announcement of the Muppets taking over. And while an official closure date of Aerosmith's version has yet to be made at the time of this recording, it is planned for sometime in 2026, so grab your backstage passes and ride the super stretch to the Aerosmith concert one last time while you can. Come on, make it happen.
I do like that.
Aww.
Let's get it out of the way right now. Are we a fan of the Muppets coming into town? We'll start with you, Joey.
I don't have the same kind of emotional connection to the Muppets that other people do.
I see.
I have a connection to Muppet Vision because that just, I think it's like one of the last remaining relics of like that bygone weird theme park era that we just don't have anymore. So that's why I'm sad about it leaving. So it moving, like the property itself moving to Rock and Roller Coaster is not necessarily that exciting to me because I don't necessarily think that contemporary Imagineering like is necessarily going to do anything that super interesting with it, because I don't think there's really any theming inside there right now that is that interesting. I mean, it's a box. It's a box with very space constrained things. So my best hope is for like the queue, the pre-show. I am excited for the potential for the roster of musicians that I feel like they can incorporate now, because so many have collaborated with the Muppets in the past. Like, I mean, Lady Gaga has an entire Muppets TV special.
That's true.
So, like, I would love to see Disney do something like rotate a roster of, it could be a good, like, cross-promotional thing with artists who have new albums coming out. Like, part of your promotional stop is filming a new pre-show with the Muppets. Like, they kind of have a plug-and-play kind of artist situation with the pre-show, and then, like, a new artist slots in. And so I think there's more opportunity for that and to keep it feeling like a more contemporary music-based attraction, because they are keeping the Rock and Roller Coaster name. So that's what I'm excited about, not necessarily the Muppets themselves.
So
but
if it were up to you, would you keep it the same? Would you keep going with the Muppets, or would you just change it to a new artist in general?
I think I would change it to a new artist in general, because I do feel like moving the Muppets there feels kind of like a consolation versus something that Disney Imagineering wanted to do. Again, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's I agree.
Yeah, it feels like a consolation kind of situation. So because there were rumors, I remember many years ago. I mean, also aside from the alleged things about Steven Tyler, I mean that there was a lot of rumors that it was going to switch out anyway.
Yes.
However, I remember. Did you ever hear this? There was like 20 years ago that I actually heard this as a kid from a cast member at Disneyland, that they were working on potentially a No Doubt version for California Adventure.
Interesting.
Which I think would have been amazing for California Adventure.
It speaks to the millennial in me for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, that's never been confirmed officially or not, but I would be so curious if that was like the first time they were thinking, let's switch, do a rotating sort of band situation. So yeah, I kind of would prefer them to maybe make it a more general music situation where they could rotate people out, which would keep it fresh. But yeah, Muppets is fun.
Rotating is such a fun idea. To have just like the idea, and maybe we'll get into that in Armchair. I haven't looked at the suggestions yet. I'm excited to see those, but that's an amazing suggestion, because then you're not trapped in like the time capsule of that band's popularity, and you could have like if you did have a rotating pre-show, it's pretty good. I wish they would have done that, but I do love the Muppets personally. I've always loved the Muppets, so I'm excited to see what they do with it. I'm excited for how funny it's going to be. But the music aspect, I am a little worried because as much as I do love the Muppets, like Phenomena is not exactly something I want to be listening to when I'm upside down or, the Muppets theme.
That band Electric Mayhem though, I forget from what Muppet show it came out. Maybe it was something from like Disney Plus or something. Yeah. They did a cover of Kiss's Wanna Rock and Roll All Night.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I could totally see that being on this attraction. Mm-hmm. I think that tempo would really work.
I think so, too, yeah.
I got a feeling they're going to go hard on it just because they saw how pissed everybody was about Muppet Vision. So, and I do think the Imagineers who were assigned to it also are nerds like us as well, and they probably don't want to put a shitty Muppet product out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they got to satisfy all the people that are upset that it's not Powerline.
Dude,
yeah.
Oh my God, that would. Yeah. I don't know how that rumor has not, or that suggestion has not floated my way, but that does kick ass.
Oh, you never heard of that one?
No, that would be so good.
Oh, you got to picture it like Eye to Eye is like the common, like that would go so well with the layout of Rock and Roller Coaster. Imagine dispatching the station.
Oh my God!
And you hear the dun 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 dun, and it works its way, chills. And then like 3, 2, 1, yeah.
Oh, launch, dude! Man. Holy shit! Oh my God!
So good,
dude. That, or even the speaking of the theming inside the ride, it's very similar to the theming of like the standout sequence in the Goofy movie in terms of like the neon projection.
Oh, true.
Damn, man. Well, I wish I didn't hear that because that sounds much better. But whatever.
I love that idea.
But you're a fan of this, Byron? Yes or no?
It could have been something way worse. I mean, there's the rumors of the Jonas Brothers at one point.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, no hate on the Jonas Brothers. I just feel like there's a reason why they kind of went the classic rock band route originally so that it might have more runway. A lot of these current artists that are kind of in their, prime, so to say. I don't know if Jonas Brothers are in their prime or not, but I guess they're in a new
era. You need to watch it. I know Nick Jonas.
They're in a new era.
He is my friend. He knows me, and I will not take this slander.
I have seen you two in a scene together.
I'll text him right now and say Byron Marin is talking shit.
I know that is true.
Sorry, you're over the hill, pal.
Hey.
Not over the hill. Oh
let's get into some fun facts here. The ride is about 1 minute and 22 seconds long. Very short ride, and I will say, as somebody who is one of the people who gives Tron a whole lot of shit for being short, I have to concede there's some cognitive dissonance here because I don't give this ride shit, but I'm just it's protected by a shield of nostalgia, but I don't feel the unsatisfied feeling in my tummy than I feel when I get off Tron. Like in the sense of just like it feels too short. This ride doesn't feel that short to me for some reason.
1 minute 20 seconds feels really generous for this one.
It's like 55 in terms of the roller coaster.
It's got to be from launch to final break run's got to be around the 50.
I think it's like 55,
which is kind of in that same
Tron.
That's like honestly, people give Tron a bunch of shit, but that is kind of the average roller coaster.
It is.
Like prime ride time. If you don't have a lift hill or something of that sort, it's just when you're waiting forever to get on Tron and it doesn't have any dark ride elements.
We didn't wait that long though. We waited like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I still hated it.
And also if you compare it to, let's say like Cosmic Rewind, which has the longest indoor track
it's the best
layout in the world with like over 5,000 feet. And, goes for like 90 seconds of prime ride time. Like, yes, Tron's going to feel short. I actually noticed that once you get on these coasters and you have the mentality of, it's a short coaster, you'll end up being kind of surprised that it gives you a little more than you're anticipating. Maybe that's just managing expectations.
I was about to say, I don't know. It sounds like you're lying to yourself a little bit.
I do get that kind of feeling with Tron 2 at the end. I'm just kind of like, I just wish that it would go on longer, but I think it's because the experience to me of Tron is so fun. Mm-hmm. And with this, I think sitting on the launch track, to me, that anticipation makes it feel a little bit longer because you are sort of sitting there knowing what you're about to do. You're strapped into the ride. Whereas Tron, like, you're not really waiting for the launch that long. You just kind of like go around the corner and you have all those interesting lights and then you kind of get right into it. But this, you are sitting down, there's the countdown. So it is building that sort of sense of anticipation.
It's better at moment building for sure. And I do think there is something to the fact of recognizable music that you know the lyrics to, making an experience feel more full and longer and satisfying. Because like Tron, it's just like kind of like, I love the Tron soundtrack, but no one's like, I love this part of of the Tron soundtrack. But like everybody has heard in some way or fashion like Walk This Way or something like that. Like it's like, oh yeah, I know this song. It does something to your brain the way that the Guardians rides do with the familiar songs. Like, it enhances the experience. And that's to say Cosmic Rewind didn't need enhancing. That ride is so fucking long, and it still has recognizable music. You get to hear the whole track. It's amazing. Yeah, no, this is 1 minute, 22 seconds long. Top speed of 57 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds.
They often advertise 60, though, which is interesting. Like, so like for most of my life, I was like 0 to 60, 2.8 seconds. And then you actually look at like a bunch of other sites and it appears to be 57.
A little roundup there. A little roundup.
I mean, I saw a video going over the science of the launch system for this coaster that Disney produced in 2021. And they still, I believe, said 60 miles an hour. So they're giving that little roundup.
How does it feel to be a liar? The ride has a capacity of 1,800 riders per hour. I could not find the cost to build this, but people on Reddit have speculated it's between $30 to $50 million.
I've heard 50.
Yeah,
but I mean, who's to say?
Which, by the way, the reason why they were able to kind of get somewhat close to that is because there are actually, and now we're going to enter trivia time here. There are 2 clones of this ride in the world in terms of ride layout that are nearly identical or basically identical. Can you guys name the 2 rides in the world that exist that have this exact ride system and layout?
I know them, but go for it, Joey.
So Platform 13 Express at Wallaby Holland and the Avengers Flight Force Assemble in Disney Studios.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't know about Express Platform.
I love Thuzies.
I know, we're so unwell. Like, Byron, I saw you look over at me. You were like, go ahead. Yep, do it.
I saw your eyes light up. I was like, all right.
Like,
He's got it.
For those that don't know, this is actually an off-the-shelf kind of model. And the you could find this ride in Wallaby Holland. And you could see the actual track layout outside, which is fun.
I believe this was like...
The launch is indoors, and because it's themed after an abandoned haunted subway station.
It's so scary.
Which I think is incredibly funny for an outdoor roller coaster, by the way.
I think so too. I always thought that was weird. It's a jarring transition because it's like a horror themed queue and they have like jump scares in the queue and it's like, it's really crazy. And then it's like you just go outside and you're like zooming over a lake.
Yeah, it spits you out. Oh, gorgeous Europe.
It's called a subway. You may want to look at what the definition of the prefix is there. I don't understand why it's fucking outdoors. But I did dig the launch. It looks pretty cool.
And I guess they didn't have, like, Disney didn't have exclusivity over the track layout or anything like that because this was built in 2000 or opened in 2000.
It opened 8 months later,
It's funny that you would say that because that also is why people were talking about the price because track exclusivity costs more because then the manufacturer can't make that again. So they cut some costs there.
And Disney said, no one will notice. It's in a box.
Yeah, that's true. That is crazy that people have somehow figured that out.
Is this a sea serpent roll? Oh, they showed their hand.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell is a sea serpent roll?
Huh? What? Sea serpent roll is the first 2 inversions on Rock and Roller Coaster, and then these 2 clones. Sea serpent roll is very, very rare because traditionally when you do a roller coaster that starts with a half loop / like corkscrew, you're trying to get the coaster to go back in the direction that it came from because you only have so much real estate to work with.
I see.
So like, for example, a Cobra roll, which you could see on so many roller coasters. Ryan, you know Silver Bullet, which is right by the front entrance of Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
That's an example of a Cobra roll. They're snapping you back in the direction you came. That's, a half loop, half corkscrew, and then it whips you back with another half corkscrew, half loop in the direction you came from, whereas a sea serpent roll does the half loop, half corkscrew, but then it does the other corkscrew in the same direction that you entered the inversion. So you're basically rolling over a second time.
I'm gonna just say right now that I completely comprehended that.
You nailed it.
I completely everything you just said.
Byron, a tear in my eye.
Anyways, we had mentioned Disney said F you to the Rolling Stones. I'm not paying you $10 million a year. Are you out of your mind? I know Steven Tyler. They got on the horn. They made the deal. Speaking of Steven Tyler, the lead singer of Aerosmith, he rode this ride 29 times. And it's unclear if he did that in one day. I've seen some places say that on opening day he rode it a dozen times. But here's a quote from him in a 2011 D23 article. Quote, this is Steven Tyler. You know, you made it when you are at your own roller coaster. Joe Perry and I got on it and we rode it 29 times just to get the sound right. Then we were like, eyes wide and shaking. So I said, Joe, let's go do Tower of Terror and it'll get us straight. And we did. And we were able to walk home after that. What a joy. And I could go down there and ride it whenever I want. End quote. I don't quite understand the logic of like, you know how you shake off the 29 times, let's get on Tower of Terror. Like if his buddy, because it's implying in this quote that his buddy was unwell and he put Joe on Tower of Terror. He sounds like a fun guy. I like that Aerosmith is a parkhead. And he does, I guess he's not Aerosmith. Steven Tyler is a parkhead. He does ride this ride occasionally. I'm sure he has rode it sooner than the last time I saw. But there is a video in 2016, a video posted by him on his own Facebook page. Here's the caption of that video. I love this caption, by the way. Just checking in on my rock and roller coaster. Still the best ride in the place. Walt Disney World Aerosmith. I love just checking in on my rock and roller coaster. My rock and roller coaster. I really do treasure him taking such ownership of the ride. And I searched far and wide to see if there was any reaction from Steven Tyler when the rebrand news happened. But like Joey had said, he had some allegations, so I think he was kind of, let's say he went offline for a while. Anyways, here's another quote from Aerosmith, by the way, because many people of this ride know the lore behind the hand gesture that Steven Tyler makes in the pre-show.
Wait a minute. I love that idea. How about some backstage passes?
When he says, I love that idea, how about some backstage passes, he puts his hand over his forehead. But when he's doing that, he is doing apparently an obscene gesture that bro dudes used to do in the 90s. And it's called the shocker. And according to Orlando Weekly, this is in Orlando Weekly, a journalist wrote this. Here's context for what the shocker represents. Quote, a maneuver that Urban Dictionary describes as, again, this is in an article, a maneuver that Urban Dictionary describes as 2 in the moose, 1 in the caboose. That's journalism, folks. And I know that because I am a journalist. Or so I've been told. Aerosmith, or Steven Tyler, I keep doing that, did post a picture of him wearing a hat that says the word fuck on it. And he is doing a mockery of the gesture he made in the ride. And here's the caption. Well, now I am in shock. You know I would own up to this doozy. Way to give me the finger now, Walt Disney World. 17 years later. See you next week. Here's to the greatest ride at Disney. God, it's he seems, despite everything you said about him, he does seem like he likes this roller coaster, so I'll give him that. The attraction's grand opening on July 29th, 1999 featured a dedication ceremony with Aerosmith. Good of them to go show up. Ride has 3 inversions, 2 of which are rollover loops, which I don't even know if that's correct.
That's the sea serpent roll, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So it has a different name. And then 1 corkscrew.
Yeah.
And I did right here, which Byron could fill us in on, but you've already done that.
Yay!
Each ride vehicle has a random assortment of songs from Aerosmith, Walk This Way, Dude Looks Like a Lady, Sweet Emotion, Back in the Saddle, 9 Lives, Young Lust, Fine, and Love in an Elevator, which was rewritten as Love in a Roller Coaster for this ride specifically. There is a song tell. You could tell which song you're going to get by looking at the license plate of your vehicle. Here are the different license plates and the songs that coincide with them. We have 1QK Limo, That is when you would get 9 lives. Too Fast for You gives you Sweet Emotion. Bye-Bye, kind of like the lady from Star Tours, gives you Young Lust, Fine, and Love in an Elevator. H8TRFFC gives you Back in the Saddle and Dude Looks Like a Lady. And then You Go, Babe gives you Love in an Elevator and Walk This Way, which personally is my favorite one. And if, in case you were all wondering, the official ranking of the best ride assortments is Love in an Elevator, Walk This Way, number 1. Number 2, Sweet Emotion. And number 3, Back in the Saddle, Dude Looks Like a Lady. That's the official ranking from me and Disney. Not Disney. I didn't double check with Disney, but it's official. Don't look it up. Joey, what's your favorite song on this ride?
You're gonna laugh at me for the reasoning, but it's definitely Dude Looks Like a Lady, because my favorite movie is Mrs. Doubtfire. And it makes me think of Mrs. Doubtfire.
The montage in that film is so good. I don't know if that song is great anymore, TBH.
No, it's not.
It's just funny that it's on a Disney ride of all rides. But you know, what are you gonna do? They're getting the Muppets in there, so we won't have to worry about that anymore.
An honest mistake.
Apparently,
that was inspired by like an actual, like, I think it had to do with Steven Tyler meeting the Motley Crue or something and mistaking one of the band members of the Motley Crue.
So with the long hair. Literally was like,
I can't confirm.
Dude looks like a lady.
I believe. No, I believe he actually. He's like, no, dude, I'm not.
Dude, the fuck. I don't know. That's the most Steven Tyler story of all time.
I heard that was it. I gotta confirm it.
That's kind of like the guy who coined the term Bigfoot. It's because he saw a footprint in the ground, and he was like, "That's a Bigfoot."
Let's make an entire industry out of this.
But yeah, not great. But you know, it is what it is. Bye-Bye, by the way, the license plate. That's the only one that plays 3 songs. So if you're into medleys, you know, that's the one you want. Also, the numbers are apparently the birthdays of Imagineers, the ones that have the numbers in them. So that's pretty cool. Each of the 6 ride vehicles are also blasting those tunes through a 125 speaker, 24 subwoofer, 32,000 watt audio system, with each guest being surrounded by 5 speakers, 4 around the head and 1 subwoofer under the seat. As mentioned, the ride accelerates from 0 to 57 in 2.8 seconds, making it the 4th fastest Disney ride in the world. And we're going to call this trivia time, but you two are going to know this. What are the top 3 fastest Disney rides in the world?
Rides or roller coasters?
Rides or roller coasters?
Because if it's rides, then Test Track takes number 1. It's
rides.
That's 64.8 or something. 7.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's Test Track is number 1. Let's just call it 65.
I believe Guardians Cosmic Rebrands listed at 60.
Yes.
For the backwards launch.
That's correct. That's number 2.
And then you got Tron at 59.
Tron is correct. 59.
Yeah. I wouldn't have been able to rattle that off, Byron. You out-thuzied me. Yes.
But
for a bonus,
the advertised launch for Rock and Roller Coaster, the fastest Disney roller coaster.
It is not 57 seconds. But that's number 4. For bonus, though, do you know what number 5 is?
What, Screamin'? Or Incredicoaster?
Yeah, I was going to say it's Incredicoaster or but see, isn't the rate of falling on Tower of Terror that fast?
That's actually, I was just about to look that up.
Because I was thinking that was in the top 3 for
that Tower of Terror dropped in the 40s.
Okay.
It is 39 miles per hour for Tower of Terror fall speed.
Weak.
There is another ride, though.
Is it Space Mountain's launch in Paris?
It can't be. That can't be more than 45.
Interesting. This list that I was looking at, I think it's wrong because I do believe it's Incredicoaster, 55 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then right after that would be, it says Expedition Everest, but I also believe that, I want to say that I
think Everest is like 50, right?
It's 50. It's 50.
Yeah.
Space Mountain in Paris. That's 44. So yeah, it would. Incredicoaster is 55. Incredicoaster would be rounding out the top 5. Moving on, though. The ride sports 3,403 feet of track and puts riders through 5 Gs of force, or 4.5 Gs if you want to be specific. The ride vehicle, although limo-themed, is actually styled after the 1962 Cadillac. The guitar out front is 40 feet tall, aka 5.7 Shaquille O'Neal's tall, or roughly 6 Shaqs tall if you don't like decimals in your shaculations. The DJ, who is broadcasting live from the Aerosmith concert, is classic rock DJ uncle Joe Benson.
Hey everybody, Bill St. James at the Aerosmith concert. Traffic's jammed out there, so if you're stuck in your car on your way to this concert, don't worry, we've got you covered. Just keep it right here on LA's classic rock station.
The band's manager who appears in the pre-show was played by actress Ileana Douglas.
Hi, Sal, it's me. Listen, I'm going to need a bigger car. Make it a stretch. In fact, make it a super stretch.
I believe what's her top credit? I think it's like West Wing. I think she's in West Wing.
Sure. I know.
Beer,
Top credit
too.
is this pre-show.
And the ride,
hell yeah.
the ride has single rider too, which is one of there's not many single rider attractions in Walt Disney World, so it's always nice to point out when one does have it. And apparently this one is quite good.
Do you know who directed the pre-show?
No, who directed the pre-show?
Oh, Joey, do you got it?
I came across it in my research.
There's
no, I
one
don't
particular person that directed a lot of the Disney Banger pre-shows.
Oh, it's the same guy who did Dinosaur, right?
And Alien Encounter, and
Yeah, I'm forgetting his name.
he directed Brave Little Toaster.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I forget his name.
So it's Jerry Reese, and I believe Kevin Rafferty, who had just come off being the brainchild of Tower of Terror, wrote the pre-show for Rock and Roller Coaster, according to IMDb.
Either way, let's read some top comments. Let's move over into our armchair engineering. What would you guys do to make this ride even better? We're going to start over on fyapod.com to get some suggestions from them. And we're going to go to the top suggestions. This comes from Shannon. This is the top rated suggestion. They have got to do better than those shitty cardboard looking cutouts in the ride. I hate the cartoony highway signs and random junk food. It just looks stupid to me. This is just a searing critique for Aerosmith. They should just make it more realistic looking to make the ride more immersive. For the Muppet overlay to come, they should have the Muppets dressed as different rock stars. For example, Animal with Steven Tyler. Oh, okay, I can see that. Or
Yeah.
Kermit with Kiss makeup. I think it would be hilarious, and they could easily change out who the Muppets look like to keep up with the times. Oh, it's kind of similar to what you were mentioning earlier, Joey, in terms of like having people rotate in.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine Miss Piggy looks like Taylor Swift. The Swifties would go nuts. That is, by the way, Shannon saying that. Don't come after me, Swifties. Because I do like
Gaga
Taylor Swift.
did famously wear a Kermit outfit once, so that could also.
That's awesome.
I mean, there we go.
Help, I'm a Browns fan, says having different, very funny name, having different bands take over during different seasons would have been a great idea, like how Nightmare Before Christmas takes over the mansion. For example, a Metallica overlay during a quarter of the year. Kristen John, this is the third rated suggestion, just wrote one word: Creed.
Oh no!
Can you take me higher?
As we go up the loop, yes.
I'm with it. And let's go one more here. Joe Likes Disney says, I always thought it would be cool to add some near misses during the ride, similar to almost hitting the truck on Test Track. You're going so fast that I think it would be legitimately scary to see a car coming towards you or see the headlights flashing right before you go into an inversion. That's actually a really good idea, especially because you're speeding past a bunch of cars on the highway. It would make sense that you would get kind of like a Radiator Springs style kind of jump scare.
Yeah, because we do get that almost like the near miss. I think works when you go through the sign,
right? Yeah, the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, that could be something. It's like a
little more
practical effect.
More of that, please.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
But yeah, that's the suggestions from over on fyapod.com. Joey, you got anything? Because you gave a great idea already.
Just like general suggestions.
General. If there was something you could do to improve it, or even something you'd like to see on the new version.
I mean, I definitely hope that the pre-show incorporates some sort of physical animatronic element, because they've got that great space in there where it was just Aerosmith was on the video screen in the back. I do hope that they keep the props and stuff as well, just because those were actual like band a lot of those things were actually donated by the band. So
That's
animatronics
awesome.
there. I would love to see maybe like the two, I'm forgetting the names of the two old guys, like somehow put them up.
Oh,
in
well,
the alley.
Statler and Waldorf.
Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah, put them up in the alley as right where we're about to launch. That would be pretty cool. Like just plug and
my
play
God,
right from
that's
Muppet
so
Vision right to
good.
there. And then I think, I mean, you can't really do anything. Change the track layout can't really change. However, I do believe there are some past Vekoma creations, that they have now outfitted with lap bars instead of over-the-shoulder restraints. I would like to see new trains in that regard too, but I don't know if that's too much of an expense that they would want to do.
Not just an
this.
expense, Joey. I'm afraid that Disney doesn't want to put lap bars on their inverting roller coasters.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
usually when they do over-the-shoulder restraints, it's more psychological than actual safety measure,
Probably.
I believe.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
To make you feel like you're more secure. I don't know
Yeah, you're probably right.
how Disney guests would feel, but they might feel a little less headbanging.
I mean, lap restraints instead of over the shoulder would certainly be better for me.
Oh, it'd
In
be
my opinion.
delightful.
I think so too. Yeah.
Let's move on to some 5 goods and however many bads. So 5 good things about this ride, and then we'll just name whatever bad things are. And then I'll name 5 goods, and then you guys could just fill in the rest. I wrote first, I just love everything about Steven Tyler's performance.
Hey, wait a minute. We can't leave these people here like this.
We can't?
No.
It's so airy and floppy. I just love it. And I honestly don't think he's bad. I think he's actually pretty believable. Even standing next to Ileana Douglas. You
Emmy nominee Ileana Douglas.
That's right. I love the hand gesture over the forehead. I never would have ever thought that was something nasty. He's a nasty guy, I guess. And then of course, how about some backstage passes? One of my favorite lines in ride history.
I love that idea. How about some backstage passes?
Oh.
Yeah. Come on. Make it happen. Give us some.
Okay. I'll make it happen. Now get out of here. I hate all of you.
See ya. Have a nice ride.
I don't know if they knew how iconic it would get. I don't know if it would be iconic without him putting his hand on his forehead the way he does, like he's looking into the sun. But it stuck out to me, and apparently everybody who's ever got on this ride. The launch, and more importantly, the view of the launch.
Okay, wait. It's out the alley.
This might actually be one of my favorite load zones in the game. And I don't know if that's just because of the nostalgia, but I do believe that little load area builds anticipation for a launch. Almost better than arguably the best launch coaster in the world, or at least the one that I've been on in Accelerator. Like, Accelerator does build a little bit of suspense, but there's just something about looking at that launch through like the chain link fence.
It takes you right back to the first time you rode it, the anticipation of watching those trains just disappear into blackness.
I also like every time I'm in that line, and I'm trying to say this in a non-creepy way, but I like looking at any sort of like parent-kid combo in this, who's like, clearly it's the kid's first time on the ride, and you could see just future sickos like really conquering their fear for the first time. There's something really fun about that.
It's like the first legitimately good moment of theming too, I think, in the ride, like where you step into that. I don't mean that like necessarily as like to like shit on the ride, but like it really is like when you step out of that recording studio and into that big space, I'm like, okay, I'm immersed. Like I really do feel like I'm in like a back alley parking garage kind of situation. So but all of the things you said, absolutely, like viewing that launch from that chain link fence is like, it builds crazy anticipation.
It does.
It's so good. I think that section of the ride and the boarding zone is just it's so good. And there are little Easter eggs in there too. With like song titles and plays on words. It's really great.
Catch them while you can. The music, obviously, genuinely thrilling. It's just fun to ride a roller coaster to rock and roll. It's just a winning combo. It's the storyline, incredibly contrived and funny. That I guess for some reason we are touring Aerosmith's recording session, and they, in this reality, if I'm getting this right, have somehow forgotten that they have a concert. And then are like, got to get there quick. oh yeah, what are we going to do with this tour? Gotta bring them with us.
What do you expect me to do? Send them all with you?
Yeah, I love that idea. How about some backstage passes?
Oh.
Yeah.
And also, inexplicably, they're recording, like, it's on the Disney website. It says, inside their Hollywood music studio, legendary rock band Aerosmith is wrapping up a recording session. The song that they're working on when you walk in is Walk This Way, one of their biggest hits. So is this implying that we are getting a look at younger Aerosmith? Like, I'm very confused by the timeline of this ride.
They're just keeping it fresh. They want to lay down them fresh vocals for the show. It's the backing track for the concert they're about to do. That's what it is.
That would be like a Lady Gaga themed attraction, and it's like, oh, you're gonna go view her in her recording studio, and she's like, playing licks of like Poker Face or something. And you're just like, what year are we in right now?
I don't know if this is official. I don't know where they got this from, but there is a video from this channel called Disfarers that described the plot of the ride.
I see.
In like a backstory of the ride that I had never heard before. Have you guys heard this?
No.
So apparently it is connected to Tower of Terror. So the way that this YouTube account described it, and again, I don't know where they got this, but it sounds like it makes sense. The record executives of G-Force Records were apparently at, like, the founders of G-Force Records were at the Hollywood Tower Hotel in the 1930s, the same night that the lightning struck and sent the 5 guests to the Twilight Zone. And the record label suffered a downturn in business after that because everybody was like, oh, it's cursed.
Yes.
And so we're now there as a celebratory kind of situation because they, for some reason, this like downtrodden record label has just landed a major contract with Aerosmith that marks their giant comeback. So they're welcoming people into the record label to like, look, we're returned to our former glory with Aerosmith. So I have no idea if that is an official story or not. They presented it as if it was. I just thought it was really interesting and makes a lot of sense.
And then, like Taylor Swift, Aerosmith is re-recording and taking ownership of all their tracks.
There you go.
Maybe that's what it is.
There you go.
And then some cute things I really like. I like the changing posters that they've implemented. I don't know if those were always there. Where have you noticed this?
Oh, where they have like kind of like the current like Disney like musician or like under Disney's label. Like I think they've probably had like a Demi Lovato or a Jonas Brothers up there before. Maybe.
No, they put like random names from like
with your Magic Band.
With your Magic Band.
Oh, really?
On the posters.
Oh, I'm thinking of just like the posters you see at G-Force when you walk into G-Force.
No, there's like digital posters that they take names from people who have scanned in with their Magic Band. And
shit!
Because I remember I was in line, and let's just say I'd had a couple beers, and I looked over at the poster, I saw my name, and I was like, "Well, that can't be right. I might need to sit down or have a glass of water." And then I looked it up, and I was like, "Whoa! I didn't realize they did this.
That is awesome.
That's amazing." But also, one of my favorite outdoor queue elements, the roller coaster, the car vehicle, the Cadillac upside down that you walk under the arch is so iconic.
Leads
so
you in
good.
with those like guitar strings as like kind of the track or the mock track that leads to that just beautiful bright like red guitar.
And I like this, and I don't know if
it's
this
a Fender.
I don't know if this was intentional on the Imagineers' part, but I like it because it's a very clever way to confirm what any scared child wants to know about a roller coaster. Does this ride go upside down?
And it's just hanging like
and it's
like
like
a stall.
very clear, like a way to be like, yeah, it goes upside down. So it's a nice way to like let people see that and kind of be like, I don't know if I want to go on that one, other than like, just like getting all the way in. And
this was like the last gasp, like breath of like Eisner's prime.
It's pretty good.
Exiting his body. In the like the fuck it, Disney will never do this shit again.
Do you guys have any more goods before we move to bads here? Things you like about this ride?
Ooh, I mean, yeah, you just brought up the amazing facade. Yeah, I love as coaster enthusiasts, gotta love G-Force Records.
Yes,
love the play on it. Being a roller coaster. Yeah, you already mentioned the amazing ride vehicles, the coolest looking ride vehicles you could possibly get. I think it really like hits you in the face with the beginning of the layout. With that launch going straight into a sea serpent roll in the darkness. I don't think it gets much better than that.
Yeah.
That might lead me into a bad later, but the start of the ride, incredible. Love that you arrived at the concert at the end.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like your gift shop exiting experience, like you're making your way in the show. You got people applaud, like you know.
got to give it credit. It's one of the few roller coasters that has a beginning, middle, end story.
Yeah.
Because there are coasters that say like we're the first storytelling roller coaster ever, and it's like define a storytelling roller coaster, because I think Rock and Roller Coaster kind of did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Joey, you got any little things you love about this ride?
Literally everything that has been said. The other thing that I always look forward to, and I just love it, is problematic or otherwise, Steven Tyler, that countdown that he does on the onboard audio always like amps me up and gets me, like, I love it because he's like kind of screeching it, and it's just
Moving on to some bads here. You could say the storyline is bad, honestly. The same reason why I love that it makes no sense, it also kind of makes sense. So
it's called Rock and Roller Coaster.
Dude, I just don't understand the timeline. Why are we watching him record Walk This Way? That was recorded 20 years ago.
Think about it this way. Like it's extremely meta in the sense that they even re-recorded tracks to change the lyrics for this roller coaster.
I see.
So what if they're doing that for Walk This Way? They
Sure.
did it. They
maybe,
did.
No,
they
you
did
know,
it for
maybe
Love
you're
and the
right.
Roller
Maybe you're right.
Coaster.
Maybe I'm going too literal on this. Next bad I wrote. Everyone, that outdoor queue, it's bad.
It's awful.
It's pretty rough. It's arguably the worst queue you could possibly be stuck in.
It looks like a short queue because it's like one like switchback of a ramp that you will spend an eternity in.
You know what? Every switchback needs that's outside in the heat, an incline. 'Cause that's what this does.
At least it's in the shade, kind of, right? Yeah, it's in the shade.
Those
I want to
fans
walk
going.
up.
Yeah.
I want to walk up at an angle. I'll walk up at an angle for forever.
It's a crawl. It's a crawl.
And then the last bad I wrote, it's just because it grosses me out every time it happens. I really don't like the thumb lick handshake that Aerosmith and Ileana Douglas do.
Oh.
It's absolutely disgusting. I like, you know, when like in Western movies when people will be like, "Do we have an accord?" and they'd spit in their hand, and the other guy spits in his hand, and they shake. I would be like, "We don't have an accord because I'm not going to touch your saliva, sir." And so when he licks his thumb and she licks her thumb, and they press them together, it's just nasty.
It's like nasty ET. They're just like
It's nasty.
just like booping it together.
Also, it's just like, don't be licking your thumbs, especially at a theme park.
Don't want to be holding them restraints and then licking your hands.
No,
That's gross.
It's disgusting. I don't want to be anywhere that Steven Tyler's tongue has been. TBH.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to cut that thumb off surgically.
yeah.
It's gonna be bad.
Don't know how to respond to that one.
Fucking
Make it a super stretch.
Oh my God, Byron, Jesus Christ. Come on, man. Let's go to the world-class tests. This is a rubric of 10
We're
tests.
done with the bads?
That's that.
Wait, can I say one more bad?
Oh, yeah. Let's. Yeah. Who else? You guys got any more bads?
Got a couple quick ones.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I think everything, Byron, like what you said, everything after the launch and the Sea Serpent roll is
Once you
not
hit
very
that
good.
first mid-course, it is a meander
It's over.
fest. Luckily, they get you with like one corkscrew in the middle of the ride, but the whole second half of the ride basically is a meander. It just does not live up to that incredible gut punch you get for the first like 10 to 20 seconds. So
Agree.
that's the big one. And it is, it is a relatively short coaster, especially since the elements are not that impressive after the first few.
And I also think the transition between on some of the soundtrack, like the transition between songs on some of them is like jarring. It's like the one like cuts out and then the other one immediately starts. There's like no transition in between them.
That's
so
fair.
that always kind of felt jarring to me on the ride as well.
Yeah, it's really prevalent on the Walk This Way one.
Yes.
All of a sudden, Walk This Way is just playing. It's like someone pressed next on the iPod Shuffle.
Right. Exactly. Accidentally.
Accidentally, yeah, it just hit my thigh. No, I will say though, I don't mind that it's a little bit more of a cruiser in the second half. The great Wes Craven once said, in terms of horror movies, it's not, you have to punch the audience in the mouth immediately, and if you hit them hard enough, you never have to hit them ever as hard again. And I think that's kind of what this ride was trying to do, or they ran out of space. It's probably the latter, but
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on to the world-class tests. This is a rubric of 10 tests painstakingly devised by Byron and myself to determine if an attraction is world-class. To receive the highly coveted world-class pass, the attraction must pass 7 out of 10 tests. A score of 6 out of 10 leaves the attraction up for debate for world-class pass standing, and anything lower than 6 out of 10 is an automatic fail. Let us begin. Test number 1, the average tourist test. Does the experience of this ride justify the average wait time?
Who wants to take a guess at the average wait time?
That's going to be tough. I'm going to say. No, Joey, you go first. Guest first.
Right now? Or are we doing right now and average?
No, average.
Just average. Just average. Okay. I'm going to say 35.
Ooh, that's
or 40. 40.
I'm going to go 50.
Ryan's the winner here, and he didn't go over. It is 57 minutes.
Wow.
According to ThrillData.com.
Is this them being cheeky?
Why? Oh, because
it's 57 miles per hour.
I think it just ended up that way. I don't think Thrill Data can do.
And the Thrill Data doesn't have a sense of humor. Its name
Might
is
as well
Thrill
round it up
Data.
to 60.
That's crazy. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
57. That's a long time.
Yes.
It's such a high capacity, too. That is a really long time.
Yeah,
It's a high
1,800 riders.
capacity, but holy crap, I should have put this in the bad. This ride is broken down like every single
the time. Yeah.
In the last few years specifically. I don't remember it having much of an issue, but over the last few years or last few visits I've been to Disney World, every single time it is broken down, at least for a certain period of time, and I have to keep trying to get on it.
Apparently there's 6 trains, but there's 5 on the track at any point, and then 1 is to switch out. So I'm guessing they must be down to 3 or something like that.
Yeah. We could only hope that once they do the Muppet conversion, they're going to give it like a proper kind of maintenance refresh and get those kinks out, because it's been kind of rough lately.
And we'll see about that. But we're basically asking, is this ride worth an hour? That's so tough. I don't think it is either.
No. If it first time anything, I think it's worth, but no, I would not wait an hour for this.
Going by the context of the park, I'm going to name some rides, and you guys tell me if you prefer Rockin' or that ride to wait an hour. Tower.
Absolutely Tower.
Rise.
If I was being objective, I would go Rise just because I have it in my backyard. When I go to Rock and Roller, when I go to Disney World, it's like what, once a year?
Rise is definitely worth an hour more than Rockin'.
But I won't usually wait an hour for Rise because I got it in my backyard. I will 100% if I have to wait an hour for Rock and Roller Coaster.
Interesting.
And as an average tourist going to a Disney park, Rock and Roller Coaster is still the only roller coaster that has inversions at a Disney park. And what you get in line for, I think it delivers on more than any other coaster at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
So I do feel like the hour is justified. So I give it a pass.
I'm going to do another easy one. This one's easy. Slinky Dog.
Fuck no.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm rating Rockin' for sure over Slinkin'. But here's the one where it might be a little difficult. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
I would wait an hour for Mickey and Minnie's
over this.
Yeah,
I would, the
I would too.
Disneyland version because the queue's so good. Disney World, I would.
Yeah,
It's a better ride though.
yeah,
It's
a
a
much better ride.
completely different ride though. You're getting something very different. Like
I think it's a better ride just
I do too.
from storytelling and everything that goes into the experience. It's just
like a warm, giggly kind of little ride, and I think that ride has more repeatability to me because it's just like I don't know, you sometimes you're in the different car and you're either close, like the cars go different places and it's literally a different perspective each time you ride it. So I think I like it.
ride time alone too. You're getting a better bang for your buck. This is only a minute and 20 seconds, so
that's fair.
True.
But there's also
and a better queue.
A plethora of trackless dark rides in the same resort. So
it's just that I can't justify waiting an hour for a ride that's literally basically 50 seconds, launch to finish.
Okay.
In a box.
Look, no, like
And
I
the
rolled
queue
out.
is miserable. It's a miserable queue.
It's a tough 60, but I don't know. 8-year-old me, I think, waited that hour. I was fucking pumped.
So that's a fail. 0 for 1.
Oh.
The smartphone test. Test number 2. Does the queue of this ride have enough to keep you off of your phone? Not literally, but does the queue offer enough immersion to keep you entertained?
The second half.
Second half, yes. First half, nope.
Even the second half doesn't have that much.
I was
though.
about to say.
I think it's still tastefully done enough that like it looks like a cool studio. It's neat that they have the actual actual music equipment.
Yeah.
I like the whole GeForce Records thing. Unfortunately, the majority of your time will be spent outdoors in a very bland, boring ramp.
Now, there's when you talk about Rise, a lot of the time could be spent in the caves, but then the stuff that you get after is so over the top amazing that it kind of overpowers that. Here you get one pre-show scene in the recording studio, and then they put you behind a chain link fence, which we do love. I love that. But like in reality, I would think normal people would be like, this is just more line.
Yeah.
No one's like stoked to see that launch.
The only part that I think is that transition from pre-show. If you're on your phone during the Steven Tyler pre-show, like, I don't know what you're doing.
No, that's
like
crazy.
You need to be watching that. And then
I hate
as
that
soon as
idea.
you step out, watching at least one launch, that's the only time I'm not on my phone. Every other time in that queue, I'm on my phone.
I'm dying outside, dude. that line is so brutal.
There really is no effort on the outdoor portion of the queue.
No.
If they had effort in the outdoor portion, like make it some other area of Hollywood or Los Angeles outside. I don't know. There's the armchair. But
There you go. Yeah, you could.
unfortunately, since you do spend the majority of your wait time in unthemed, boring switchback space, it has to be a fail.
I mean, if you enclosed the outdoor queue and made that more part of the recording studio, like walking through the lobby and all that stuff, then you could give it more juice. But yeah, really, look, we all love that pre-show scene, but
the loading area,
can't
amazing. The
save.
theming in the loading area, amazing, but it's not.
I believe the pre-show
It's
scene
not
is
widespread
literally
enough.
2.5 to 3 minutes long. And that's of the 57 minutes you're waiting.
And then what? The loading area is another like 5 to 10.
Maybe. That's the one part about the loading area I like the most. It's because like, I know I'm close, and this has been a miserable experience.
Yeah, and you're getting kinetics.
Yeah. So I think respectfully, this is a fail.
Damn.
Agree.
Ooh, okay, 0 for 2. I did not. This is a bad start. No wonder why they're replacing this with the Muppets. I'm just kidding. Don't kill me. Test number 3, the Tony Stark test. How innovative is this attraction? Does it push theme park tech forward? Oh boy, this is not off to a good start. Byron, save us here. What can we?
Sadly, it doesn't really have anything I'm aware of that can technically get you there, unless someone can prove to me that this was the first of its kind in regards to the linear synchronous motor.
This is LSMs, right? Not
because it
LIMs.
uses it's LSMs, and it's done with a push car as opposed to a fin, right? So the LSMs are located under the track, and then there is a separate track that has the push car that snaps to the train, and that's what's going through the LSMs.
I see.
You'll notice the LSMs are placed under the track.
Oh, kind of
as
like
opposed
that's
to
how
the
it is in
fins.
Accelerator too, right?
That's hydraulic.
But it has like a push track that doesn't.
That's got a catch car as well.
Yeah.
That yanks you through. That attaches to the vehicle.
You do love a good yank.
For example, Hagrid's that has, I believe, fins on the train. So or has fins that stick up from the track, and then those go between this groove on the train. So that doesn't need the.
All that to say, this
push card.
probably doesn't have anything.
But I don't think this is the first of its kind. I mean, they even used like kind of that same mechanism, even though it was a catapult launch for Space Mountain from the Earth to the Moon.
Yeah.
This wasn't the first time LSMs were used. It's not the first time that onboard audio had been done on a roller coaster, because that was also Space Mountain from the Earth to the Moon.
You could say there were rumors that the Imagineers kind of knew that Vekoma didn't make the smoothest coasters, and kind of their engineers worked with the track layout and kind of smoothed out some things, and that did lead to like a good relationship with Disney and Vekoma. You have a lot of Disney and Vekoma creations now that are much smoother, so you could say they kind of helped shape Vekoma's future relationship with Disney of producing some of the smoothest coasters on the planet.
But you could also argue they did that with Space Mountain from the Earth to the Moon.
Yeah, true.
Well, guys, I'm just gonna say it. This looks like a fail. We tried.
Sadly, yeah.
Oops.
This might be the first time where I'm really battling the rubric, where I'm like, oh shit, we're down
no.
big. Look, they're 0 for 3, moving for test number 4. Oh my god, this is going to keep getting worse. Okay, the Hollywood test. Could the story or world presented in the attraction be a feature-length movie? Now,
A documentary.
I could see it being a feature-length film.
you could.
Yeah.
Would you watch it?
Yeah, 100%. I would love to see what they do with it.
The movie
They
is-
establish some characters. They have a dynamic. You know, the band manager is obviously the protagonist. It's it's very it's very kind of get him to the Greek.
I was just going to say, it's like Get Him to the Greek. It's like Get Him to the Greek.
And yeah, you could be on this wacky limo adventure through Hollywood. Obviously, there'd be a bunch of misadventures. This is all condensed into a short ride time. But I think it does present, and like we said, it does
Has
have a beginning, middle, and end.
And I think for a roller coaster, we should be grading on a curve. And I will say, the plot for Get Him to the Greek is Jonah Hill has to get Elvis Snow, played by Russell Brand, to a show, and he is running late.
You're so right.
It became a movie which came out after this attraction. They went on this attraction and they're like, fire it up.
They're like,
Adapted.
Get him
Can you
to the
imagine in the
Greek.
credits, adapted from Disney World to Rock and Roller Coaster?
yeah. The Get Him to the Greek, the original ending was it fades to black, and then a title fades on screen that says, how about some backstage passes? This is a pass. I'm going to pass it.
Pass.
Steven
Agree.
Tyler saw that film and he's like, they took my idea. Pass.
Hey, I love that idea because it's mine.
It's a roller coaster.
1 for 4. Test number 5, the Simpson test. How likely is this to be replaced with something new? That's an automatic fail because it's being replaced. So,
Yeah.
1 for 5.
Although I do believe it's going to hold the rock and roll.
Rock
Hang
and Roller
on a
Coaster
sec.
name.
So if it holds that it is still a rock and roll themed roller coaster that just has a different headliner, as we discussed earlier, that we like the idea of the headliners changing.
Then it somewhat is.
In spirit, it's going to be the same layout. It's still going to be themed to rock and roll.
Look, I'm willing to pass it.
Oh God, that look over at me, Ryan.
I'm willing to pass it.
I would say, just purely because I do strongly believe, and this is not confirmed, I have no idea, but I imagine Disney they have heard of the allegations. I imagine they have wanted to get Aerosmith out of there for a while.
For sure.
I think it is being that is the thing that is being replaced, and it is kind of the heart of the attraction that ever since it opened for the past 26 years, it has been Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. That is the selling point of the ride. That is being replaced by something that is not a rotating thing. It is another permanent theme that they are replacing it with. So I do think, yes, it has been replaced, even though it is keeping the Rock and Roller Coaster name.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Because when Disney made this announcement, they didn't say you're getting an all new roller coaster attraction. They said Muppets is taking over Rock and Roller Coaster.
That's true.
So they're kind of defining it as it's still in spirit a rock and roller coaster. And the biggest selling point, I mean, at least not from when I went on it the first time, was that it was a roller coaster themed to rock and roll. And if it still keeps that same spirit, look, we could take it to court in a year when it reopens.
Okay, we can. Yeah, let's.
We got world class kangaroo court on FYApod.com.
Look,
so
I think this is going to be.
But based on the verbiage that Disney has put out,
Ryan,
they're
you
not
can
trying
pass
to
it.
say that it's no longer a rock and roller coaster. So as far as I'm concerned, right now it is slated to continue being a rock and roller coaster, just starring a different property.
No, also Joey's saying there's the rumor of them wanting to get Aerosmith out of there because of the allegations.
Yeah.
I think anybody who doubts that could see Exhibit A, which is the Instagram post of Steven Tyler wearing the word fuck on his forehead while doing the obscene gesture and saying, way to give me the middle finger, Disney.
And I
love Rock and Roller Coaster.
And I believe they always had that title so they could plug other artists in if they had to.
I'm going to.
You're gonna pass it. You're gonna pass it.
No, I have to be objective. I'm going to fail it.
Yes!
So that is now 1 for 5, which means it could still get in debate land, Byron.
Unbelievable.
Sleep,
Byron's gonna hate me forever.
Test number 6, the sleeper cell test. Is there a sound or soundtrack on this ride that, if heard outside the park, would immediately activate you like the Manchurian Candidate or the Winter Soldier and place you on this ride?
Oh, there's like at least 100
There's
examples.
a million sound
Honestly,
bites
yeah.
on this ride.
Yeah.
Not even including the actual soundtrack itself. The countdown of him screaming it.
Yeah.
How about some backstage passes? It's great.
The Ileana Douglas lines.
The radio
make
DJ
make that a
introducing
super
it.
stretch.
That's really good.
And
The
if you
come on, make
heard-
it happen.
Yes, and if you heard Steven Tyler singing "Love on a Roller Coaster" outside of this attraction,
That's
you
true.
would immediately know
Made specifically for the
Rock
ride.
and Roller Coaster. So yeah, I think that's a pass.
Easy pass, 2 for 6. Moving on to test number 7, oh boy. The premature detraculation test. Does this ride finish too soon, or is it a good length? Some rides last too long.
Forget everything I said. It's a perfect length.
No, dude, come on now.
No. I'm gonna stick with it. I do believe that it is too short. I think if they packed the second half with a little more and it didn't feel like it meandered as much, it would. I think your minute and 20, or I guess like 50 or 55 seconds worth of prime ride time would feel more justified and satisfied. But since it spends about 30 seconds of those meandering kind of slowly, I have to go with the pace because it's not the longest ride time and it's not packed to the gills with exciting elements the whole way through. So I do have to fail it.
It's a fail. I mean, it's objectively a fail. It's under a minute.
And the only thing to me, truly the only
It's a
thing to
minute,
me
man.
is the launch and the Sea Serpent roll, and everything after that is literally just womp womp.
And that's why you guys failed the first test. So
It's 2 for 7, guys. We're moving on to test number 8.
it's out.
Sorry,
It's
Byron,
out.
I'm
It's
so
out.
sorry.
It's out. Oh my god! The uproar.
It's out. But it's okay. We're getting a new version, so maybe that'll
Test number 8, the
Give
run
us
it back test. Is there enough in the experience offered to warrant multiple re-rides? Do you have enough bounce after this ride to ride again? Okay, this for sure is a yes.
100%.
Yeah, I agree.
You scrap out the inconvenience of the wait time, and you're going to want to do that launch again. You're going to want to get sent through that sea serpent roll again. So I think there's plenty of bounce. A lot of first time inversions for a
lot of people,
for
yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
This is a monumental ride for many, so it's a pass.
Test number 9, the exit through the gift shop test. Would you, in theory, pick up merch for this ride as you exit through the gift shop? Does this ride inspire you to sport your love for it? I would wear a rock and roller coaster shirt, but not one that said Aerosmith on it.
Same. That is exactly what I was going to say. Yes, I think, because I do think some of the designs in there over the years have been pretty cool.
They're pretty good.
Like, yeah. And
I have this ride vehicle on my desk for sure.
I got a rock and roller coaster shirt after I rode it when I was 8 years old. Pass.
And
I got the merch when I was 8.
There it is.
Yeah, literally a pass.
And now that is 4 for 9. Wow, that's so brutal. Test number 10. The fine wine test. Has this ride aged well? Has your opinion of the attraction appreciated or depreciated since your first experience? Or if it's a new ride, do you believe it will age well? Let's start with Joey,
Oh my
who's
gosh.
having a panic attack.
I really am. Because I'm realizing, I'm like, I knew I wanted to go into this and like, I have some issues with this ride, but I guess I didn't think it through of like, that I was going to want to fail it on every single category, basically. But like, Byron, I'm so sorry. I know that you don't want to hear this about this attraction.
No,
but, like,
I think I'm gonna have the same vote as you do.
Yeah,
So
it's definitely showing its age. Like they keep having to. I think it's undergone 2 refurbishments in the past 2 years. So
boy.
I mean, it's showing its age. The pre-show, the band does not look like that anymore. The ride system is outdated at this point. Even though the launch system is kind of outdated at this point. So it's yeah. I mean, the experience is still fun. But the ride itself has not gotten better, and it's definitely more intense and thrilling as a kid. It's still fun. That doesn't mean what it does well still, and that will never go away because that launch, the Sea Serpent roll, it's all good, but it's not as good as
I
an adult
agree.
when you're
Yeah,
a kid.
it doesn't live up to those first times you went on it. I mean, part of that's just me getting older, doing more intense coasters, and then Rock and Roller Coaster kind of loses its muster. When
I've never
compared
seen
to
someone
those.
power through a burp longer than that. That was crazy.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
What burp?
I didn't even clock it.
You weren't powering through a burp right there? It lasted like 10 seconds. You were like, hey, man.
I'm having one of those caffeine heart attacks from the coffee. No, I think I was. I didn't realize I was powering through a burp until you brought it up.
Sorry to bring that up. But what do you got here?
Okay, so I am going to go with a fail as well. I don't think it has aged that well. Like I said, the maintenance has been kind of rough. It has been broken down a lot more than it should be. But hopefully that gets refreshed when they bring in the Muppets version. But I do have to give it a fail because it has not aged wonderfully. As much as I still love riding this every single time I go to Disney World, and as much as I think that a 4 out of 10 is absolute bullshit for this attraction, considering Villain Con got a 5.
Oh my God.
That's insane.
I think this could easily be a 5 or 6.
We'll take it to court.
I will say, yes, I will see your ass in court.
That's fine.
For this one, because I could easily see this being a 5 or 6 once we relitigate it. But I will also concede that I do not think it is a world-class attraction anymore. I think when it debuted in the late 1990s, being the first domestic Disney coaster to have inversions and kind of help Disney make that step for domestic park guests, I think it was a big deal at the time. And over time, it's just kind of lost that unique, interesting quality to it. So
Agreed.
No longer world-class, but still has a very special place in my heart. Still one of the first roller coasters that any kid will go on that has inversions. So I think it still holds a great deal of value. And
I'm passing it. It doesn't matter. I think it's this resort needs thrill rides, and especially in that park, it's still. This is a major part of the lineup. Like if they took this out and didn't retheme it to Muppets, they'd be in trouble, I think. So I think by just virtue of need, it still maintains its value in my eyes. But it doesn't matter. I've been outvoted because apparently I'm the only one here who rides for Rock and Roller Coaster.
yes.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I'm just kidding. Anyways, this ride ends with a 4 out of 10. That does it for this episode of For Your Amusement.
No.
Thank you again, Joey, for joining. You're a journalist. You preserved your journalistic integrity. You did what you had to do. Is there anything you'd like to plug before we head out here?
I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys asking me on. It's been such a lovely experience meeting you. And I would just say, check out all of we do cover theme parks on EW.com. So make sure you go there. I cover theme parks for EW in addition to movies, TV, all that stuff. And also a non-EW project. You did mention it at the beginning of the show, but yeah, I co-host the Peeps Podcast with my good friend Demi of Magical Hijinks, so that's where you can find me talking about theme parks too. But thank you. I'm so glad I met you guys at the event, and you guys are my new friends now.
Yeah, we'll see you in Disneyland in a couple weeks here. But
yes. I'm so excited.
Anyways, that does it for this episode of For Your Amusement. If you're watching, make sure to leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, or if you're listening, rate the podcast 5 stars and subscribe as well. And consider supporting us by joining our fourth wall and becoming a park hopper, as we're calling it, by heading to fyapod.com. As mentioned up top, it'll help us keep this show going, and you'll get up to 3 monthly bonus shows in addition to the main free show you just listened to, including World Class Kangaroo Court, which is at the lowest tier, so everyone could get that. And we'll probably relitigate this attraction there live in front of you guys, with you guys helping us make the jury.
Yeah, I'd be curious. And if you disagree with this current ruling,
have your voice heard in court.
This current verdict, you could even head to our YouTube comments or wherever you can leave comments and just let us know. When you make your once in a lifetime or once in a year trip to Disney World, do you wait in that hour for Rock and Roller Coaster?
Oh my God,
do you not, despite whether or not you've been on it? Because I personally do. Anyways,
this is coming from the person who failed it on the fine wine test.
Because it has not aged well.
I think it ages pretty.
It has not aged.
It's
well,
aged well,
but I will wait the hour.
Okay. Well, you also find our merch over there at fyapod.com. And for those who are already park hoppers over there, or as Byron calls them, FYA holes, I'm powering through burnt myself there. Here's 10 names of e-ticketers we'd like to thank. Leah Loves Coasters, Cowboy Trinity, Danny the Girl, King Coconut, Dakota, Cowboy Snail, John Alvarado, Ross G, True Hope Faith, and who could forget, Bowl of Fruit. Thank you for being delicious. Follow the pod socials.
Is it Leah or Leia, by the way?
It could be Leia.
Either way, it could be a toss-up. So we got
both.
both.
Leia loves coasters or Leah loves coasters. Follow the pod socials at FYA Pod everywhere. I'm Ryan at Ryan Bergara everywhere. And Byron is at Byron A. Marin across all socials. Thanks for spending your time with us. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see all of you on the next ride. Bye-bye.